Welcome back to SHIB Planet. 250,000 downloads. That was the massive result for the total amount of downloads of the game Shiba Eternity after download day. And that's a really good result because, as we know, Shiba Eternity became the #1 card game across both the Apple and Google Play stores on download day. And recently, Satoshi Kusama released the official guidebook for Shiba Eternity, and it's a massive 1,100 pages long, complete with graphics and commentary. And so the big question on everyone's mind is, what is going to be the corresponding amount of Shiba Inu tokens burned within the first month of Shiba Eternity? So that is what we're going to cover in today's video. Welcome back to SHIB Planet, everyone. This is Ace. After 250,000 downloads and at a burn rate of 5%, can we estimate the total amount of tokens to be burnt? Well, the short answer is yes. Well, actually, maybe, kind of, possibly. Let's get right to it. And thank you very much, Satoshi Kusama. The guide is now live at shibaeternity.games, and it's a massive 1,000 plus pages split into about 4 sections. And at first glance, if you guys have read this, you can actually tell that a lot of work has gone into this document, and it's probably why it took so long to get released. And the guide is also in the process of being transcribed into a wiki document where people are going to have the option of looking up specific keywords and topics and going straight to the answer. And towards the end of the blog post, Satoshi doubled down on his statement that from now onwards he's going to be focusing almost exclusively on Shibarium in addition to some marketing efforts for the game. In the article, he said that I will now shift my focus to advertising the game, the blockchain version, and Shibarium with Cal as we are quickly approaching the beta launch. Speaking of Shibarium. And so stick around till the end where I'm going to share some of my insights on how this could benefit the Shiba Inu ecosystem. But for now, let's get to the burn estimates. Okay guys, this is the first iteration of my Shiba Eternity burns estimator. Firstly, we know that so far there's been a total of 250,000 downloads of the game, and from this I'd personally say that around 10% of those 250,000 are probably going to be active purchases of in-game items, and that turns out to be about 25,000 people. And the reason I think this is actually a fair estimate is that usually there's actually a certain amount of people who usually buy into Shiba Inu ecosystem features and utility outside of just the SHIB token. For example, we know that Shiba Inu has a community of over 1.2 million holders and a social media presence of well over 3 million followers across various social media. But actually, in reality, only a small percentage of those actively spend on Shiba Inu ecosystem utility. Let me explain. For instance, there are only 29,000 LEASH holders. There are only about 60,000 Bone token holders. And across the remaining ecosystem utility, there's about 3,500 holders who currently hold a Shiboshi, and about 5.7 thousand people who have purchased Metaverse land. And that's why I personally think it's fair to assume that about 25,000 people would actively spend on in-game purchases. And that's actually okay, because if these 25,000 would have purchased at least $100 worth of in-game purchases, these would be the results. It'll be about $2.5 million for that one-time mega pack, which is available in-game, and also assuming that people make an additional purchase of about $50 for in-game items such as card packs, experience boosters, and kibble purchases, which is the in-game currency. That's about 1.25 million. And now here's the burn part. The total is an expected revenue of about $3.75 million in gross revenue, and we know that 5% has been allocated to Shiba Inu token burns, and at 5% that's about $187,500 in gross revenue, and at the current price of Shiba Inu, that would be about 15 billion SHIB tokens, which are in scope for burning. And whilst that might sound impressive, that's actually not the full story, because I think the agreement is that it's actually about 5% of profits. So what I have to do is I need to take out any known expenses, and at gross value, I do know that the app stores take anywhere from 25 to 30%, for their own revenue. So I'd probably say that we'll probably be able to keep about, two thirds of this as profit. So I'm just gonna factor that into my equation over here. And that brings us down to about $123,000, which are in scope for burning immediately after download day. And that's a little under 10 billion Shiba Inu tokens. And remember, these are just my estimated figures. There are surely some other costs which I haven't accounted for, like ongoing in-game maintenance from Playside, and I'm sure William Volk is also gonna be getting a cut for his leading role in spearheading this entire project. And that leads me into Shitoshi's final point, where he said that he'll now be focusing on marketing the game as well as finalizing Shibarium. Firstly, I think that the marketing, in my opinion, should be very strategic. For example, native advertising in all its forms. We should be able to leverage influences, not just Shiba Inu or crypto influences, but influences just of the game industry, as well as, you know, in-game ads and stuff like that. But also remember that Shiba Eternity revenue is split as follows. About 5% of the revenue goes to burns, as we know. About 45% is going to be split in a yet to be disclosed split between charitable giving, and also a portion of that is going to community creators to incentivize people to create, I think, on Shibarium or anything game related. And another 50% is going to a proprietary fund, which we'll hear about in the not too distant future. And if I was to go a little off script here, I think that we actually have an opportunity to expand the Shiba Inu ecosystem through various initiatives, not just marketing, but also through charitable giving. For example, we know that about 45% of the current revenue is allocated, you know, as I described before. That's about $1.1 million. And I think about, you know, of this, anywhere between, you know, 10 and maybe even 30 can be allocated to charitable you know, giving, for example. So I'll split that in the middle. If I can say about 22.5% potentially could go to a charitable cause. One idea is I know that we already have an indirect relationship with Vitalik Buterin, and Vitalik, for those of you guys who follow his Twitter, he's very vocal on various causes, particularly humanitarian efforts on the the crisis in Ukraine. What we could do is we could donate towards a cause which is on Vitalik's heart, and you know, publicly give, and that way that might cause, you know, some sort of well, a lot of media attention, because we do know that we do get a lot of media attention when we communicate with or interact with Vitalik. And you know, in the long term, you know, things like this might go further than burning, because I think at the moment 500,000 in burns is about 44 billion, which is decent, but it doesn't really do much to impact the price of the price of Shiba Inu. I also think that we could also do a similar thing, donate towards the cause of someone like someone influential, like the CEO of Binance. And you know, if we can find a cause that's on the CEO's heart and be able to contribute towards there as well. But whichever way that we do intend to spend this, I do know that you know, part of these funds are influenced by the Doggy DAO. So at some point we should be able to get, you know, to have a say as a community as to how to direct some of these funds. And I think that's it for today's update, guys. Let me know in the comment section, what are you guys' thoughts about how the community should spend the funds? And I think burning is not completely effective. I don't think it's the best way to boost the ecosystem at this particular stage, because a few 100,000 could actually go a very long way if we use them towards marketing efforts, and that might, you know, incur a lot. That might result in a lot of future burns if that impacts the ecosystem positively. But only burning a few right now, I don't think it'll really dent the price. And I'm personally more looking forward to burns, which will happen as a result of activity on Shibarium. And we can only get lots of activity on Shibarium if we boost the ecosystem's exposure through efforts like strategic marketing, in my opinion. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. If you guys like the way I cover the Shiba Inu ecosystem, the best way you can continue to support this channel is by simply hitting the like button and also leaving a comment, because those two actions will help share quality Shiba Inu content with the community. And once again, thank you so much for watching, everyone. This is Ace. Peace.